Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Monir El Azzouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we are doing the March update. So let's review what happened. So let's start first with UDAMED. So there was a lot of information this month on UDAMED, and we'll start with some MDCG guidelines that were issued, and also some European Union documents also. So first we have a European Union document that was issued about the legacy devices. So you have to understand that normally UDAMED will be used to register EU MDR devices that have a UDI code and everything, but in the case there is an issue on the market with your legacy devices, the devices that are still under EU MDD, then how can you register or how can you inform about those devices if they don't have a UDI code? So the idea here is the fact that UDAMED will create a UDI code for your products, and it is explained on this document. And we have new terms to learn. So first, with UDI, we had the UDI DI, the UDI PI, and the basic UDI DI, which makes it maybe somehow complicated for some people to understand. But with this new document, there is new terms that are existing, which are the UDAMED DI and the UDAMED ID, which is really somehow different. So the guidance is really providing you some information about the fact that you are registering your legacy devices on UDAMED. For example, if you have already a UDI DI because maybe you are selling your products to the in the USA, because USA has already a UDI DI rule, then you can still use this UDI DI to create, if I can say, the elements for the registration on UDAMED. If you don't have a UDI DI, then the UDAMED database will create this code by itself. And there is also some rules then when you will be moving from MDD to MDR, how to still link those two products, so the legacy products and the EU MDR product, so without losing any of the history of it. So you can go to this document. It is on the show notes, and you can review that and check exactly what will happen. So don't wait that an issue happen on the market after the date of application to read this document and to understand. Start to understand now what are the rules and how you can maybe apply them when there is something that is happening here. There is also another document that was issued, which is the MDCG 2021-1, which is the UDAMED Harmonization Administrative Practice. So this document is mainly explaining, while UDAMED is not completely available, what are the interpretation that you have to do about the regulation. So the regulation, for example, says that you have to register your device on UDAMED, but if the module for the device registration is not available, what are you doing? Then it is explained. There is a table with a lot of the EU MDR requirements, so it's copying, pasting all the information that were issued on EU MDR, and it's telling you if this is not possible, if this is not applicable, if this is not feasible, here is what you have to do. So mainly this is also an important document so that you can exactly know what are the rules to apply there. Okay, so now let's talk again about COVID-19 situation. So there were last month a lot of information about the fact that the EU Commission authorized to perform some remote audits, and I was asking you a question on a survey. So is it something that is fair? Is it okay for you to have remote audits for medical device manufacturers? And we can see on the result of the survey that 55% says yes, but only if it is accepted for all, because there was a lot of rules saying that a company can have a remote audit only in certain cases, and here it says like more than half of the people, so around 323 votes, or more than half says that it will be fair, it will be fine to have that if it is accepted for all. And the second one is no. No, it's not. You should not do the remote audits because on-site audit is key. So 21% that answered that. So you see that there is still some debates on that, and we learned recently that so last month we said that team NB, team notified body, then should create a document, so documents to explain, if I can say, the unharmonized standards, so how to execute, if I can say, those remote audits per all the member states. But they announced the 25th of February, they made a comment on their website to say, it appears that there are differences in the approach between national competent authorities concerning the implementation of the Commission notice, so the one related to remote audits, on remote audits under the regulation 2017-745 and 2017-746. Therefore, at this time, Team NB is unfortunately unable to finalize and publish its aligned position on the uniform implementation of such remote audits by notified bodies. The application of remote audits under MDR and IVDR due to pandemic-related contact and travel restrictions may currently vary across member states depending on the governance provided by authorities. So you see that here there is no alignment first, and that it's still there is still some debates on the use of this methodology and how to use it, how to implement it. And apparently here each member state will do what they want to do, if I can say. So this is important. So let's follow up on this topic and see if there is any issue here. But if you are trying to get your audit through a remote audit and you have some difficulties, don't hesitate to contact me just to maybe make some kind of information or comments about that, and let me know if I can say what is really your difficulty on this. Okay, the European Commission also issued a document related to COVID-19 tests, so a question and answer. So it provides a lot of information about what are those tests, how they are regulated, how you can place them on the market. For example, you have to understand that if a COVID-19 test is made for professional to be used, by a professional person, then there is no need of a notified body. But as soon as you are saying that this COVID-19 test can be used by a layperson, by anybody by itself, so self-testing, then a notified body should be involved. So this is kind of those kind of elements that are clarified on this document. So this is also available on the show notes, and it's providing a lot of question and answers about the COVID-19 test. And also, there is a EU Commission that issued a document about also the clinical trials, because during the COVID-19, there is maybe some issues related to clinical trials. Is the fact that there is maybe some possibilities that we have to stop some clinical trials due to the fact that there is some pandemic issues in the hospitals. Also the fact that maybe your clinical trial is not so if I can say important in terms of the public health. So it's why maybe we can put it or have it later, so to postpone a bit the clinical trials. So it explains a lot of things inside to how to execute clinical trials while you have this COVID-19 pandemic. So also something interesting to read in case you are having a clinical trial actually, or in case you are planning a clinical trial in the next months, so that you understand exactly what are the rules and maybe why some of your clinical trials will be refused or put on hold until the pandemic is solved. Okay, other information that are maybe important for you, it's about languages. So let me read you what is written on the Article 10.11 and Article 10.14 related to languages for manufacturers. So it says manufacturers shall ensure that the device is accompanied by the information set out in Section 23 of Annex 1 in an official union language determined by the member state in which the device is made available to the user or patient. So it means that if you are a patient located in Germany or in France or in Italy, you want to have the device with the official language because maybe you don't understand English, let's say. So it's important because if there is some misuse because of that, then it's your fault. So the idea here is to say the people, the users, the patients should see the official language within their products. But in Article 14, it's also saying manufacturers shall, upon request by a competent authority, provide it with all the information and documentation necessary to demonstrate the conformity of the device in an official union language determined by the member state concerned. So it means that it's not only for patients and users, it's also for competent authorities. So if you are going to Italy, maybe they would like to receive all documentation in Italian, which is understandable, but maybe you are asking yourself, is English also accepted for this kind of thing? But the issue is the fact that there is no official database related to which language is authorized, which official language is authorized per country. I mean, I looked for it, I didn't find it, but maybe you have a link. If you have a link, please send that to info@easymedicaldevice.com and I will publish that. But now the Norwegian authority just published an information saying that all the documents that they should reserve should be in Norwegian, unless there is really a big exception for that, but all documents should be in Norwegian, and you have the information in the show notes, so if you want really to read it. Another thing about Brexit, so the MHRA just updated its article on virtual manufacturers. So virtual manufacturers is manufacturers that are buying products from an original equipment manufacturer and then putting their name on it and then selling that. So there is some practices that are not authorized anymore with this. And they updated this article not to mention anything more, it's just to align it with the Brexit rules because of the dates, because of timelines, because of the fact that it's not only CE marking, it's also UKCA or UKNI, etc. So they have aligned that. But if you are still not aware of, if I can say, this practice of virtual manufacturing, maybe this article can help you, because it's also providing the information about what is authorized, how you can stay a virtual manufacturer and still continue to sell your device while you are not, if I can say, the design owner of the product. And then everything is marked on this article. Okay, so now let's make a round of the world on what have been changed in some of the regulation in the world. And we will start with Australia. So Australia just issued a consultation on nanoparticles. So with the EU MDR, for example, we have a new rule now with the EU MDR to classify devices if they contain nanoparticles. And here Australia is doing nearly the same to define what are nanoparticles, what are the rules that we should apply, is it really dangerous or not, etc., etc. And here you have the consultation document, so if you want to go, you go on the show notes and you find them. There is also on the website, on the TGA website for Australia, there is also a page where they are testing by themselves the masks, so face masks during the pandemic. So to say if this is a good one, if this is a bad one, if they passed this test or that test. So it can be interesting if you are buying face masks to look at this page and to see what are the results of the test. So the results of the test are results as of today, but because maybe TGA informed those manufacturers and then they had to make some changes or some updates, but as of today, here are the results, and then you can also use that to see which products maybe are good or bad for your company or for yourself. And so we have then Singapore. So Singapore issued also an information about the introduction of the medical device grouping tool. So before you had to submit your device one by one, and then it can cost a lot of money and can cost a lot of time, etc. Now they authorize you to group them, which will be you will be able then to register many devices in one group at one time, which will be helpful for you and also reduce maybe the prices. So you can go on the show notes to find this tool if you are trying to sell your products now in Singapore. And we have a lot of countries that are actually updating or informing about some changes in the regulation or some flexibility in the regulation related to COVID-19, because there is a lot of countries that are seeing maybe a possibility of medical device disruptions, and they are trying to make it more easy for companies or for manufacturers to deliver their products in the country to avoid this disruption. And we have, for example, the Saudi Arabia. They have issued documents explaining that they will try to help the manufacturers, the distributors, so that they can continue to have their products on the market. And you can see that on the show notes. Okay, I'm happy to announce you that Easy Medical Device just issued a new tool, which is called Easy Medical Expert. So what it is? So Easy Medical Expert is a tool that is on a website, so easymedicalexpert.com, where I have tried to make, to create a bridge, if I can say, between manufacturers and experts, where people can meet together and can share, if I can say, some missions. So the idea is the fact, for example, that you are a manufacturer, you want somebody maybe to help you with your technical documentation, or to perform an internal audit, or to register your products in a certain country, etc. And it's not like a full-time employee, it's just that a gig, something that to do quickly. Then we have the experts that can come and help you directly. So you can be in contact with them directly. You can assign a task to them. When they have finalized the task, you can rate them with some stars and to tell them if they are good or bad. And they can also rate you to see, okay, we had a really good relationship with this company. And the idea here is really to find a way that we can help small manufacturers that maybe don't have all those contacts, all those experts in mind. So to find really the people that are able to help them. So you can go to easymedicalexperts.com. Actually, there is 45 companies that are registered and 187 consultants that are also registered. So go there, place your task, and then a consultant will come to you and will tell you if they can help you or not with this information. And don't hesitate, there is some grouping so you can define which category is your task so that it will be easier to understand what is really involved on that. Okay, so don't hesitate, as I said, to go to easymedicalexpert.com and register. Register as somebody that will provide some task, or as somebody who will be supporting some task. So you have really to make a difference here. Okay, thank you for that. Training, as usual, we are here also to train you, and so Easy Medical Device has this green belt training on EU MDR, and this month, so in month of March, the session will be the 10th edition, so it will be the 10th month. I'm providing this green belt training, so more than 1,000 people were subscribed and were on this training, and now we have the 10th edition, which will be on March 22nd until March 26th, and the exam will be on March 31st. So don't hesitate to go. We'll have 5 modules as usual. The first one is about general information. The second one about economic operators, PRC, manufacturers, importers, distributors. The third one is about how to place the device on the market. So the classification of the device, the notified bodies, conformity assessment. The fourth module will be on technical information. So technical file, clinical evaluation, clinical investigation, PMS, PMCF, etc. And the last module will be on UDAMED and UDI, where we'll talk more about traceability. So don't hesitate to go to school.easymedicaldevice.com and you will go to the section course to find the green belt certificate. Notified bodies. So this is really an important resource on our organization or on our industry, because we need notified bodies to be able to certify our medical devices. And here, this month, or in the month of February, we had one additional notified body, which is Istituto Superiore di Sanità, which is in Italy. And this notified body now is part of the 19th notified body under EU MDR. So congratulations to Istituto Superiore di Sanità, because it's really important that we are congratulating all those notified bodies that are arriving, because we need them. So let's say welcome to them. So we had, as I've said, 19 notified bodies under EU MDR and 4 notified bodies under EU IVDR. So as EU IVDR is coming on 2022, so nearly 1 year from now, May 2022. 4 is nothing, if I can say, so we have really the need to increase this number. So I hope there will be a lot of more notified bodies that will be succeeding at the IVDR, because we need more notified bodies for IVDR than before. Before, only 25% of the manufacturers needed a notified body, and now 75% of the manufacturers will need a notified bodies, which is really huge. And in terms of Brexit, because last month we talked also about UK approved bodies, so you have to understand that by the 30th of June 2023, a CE marking will not be accepted anymore within the UK due to Brexit. So then you will have to contact the notified bodies, which is a UK approved body. And there actually we have still 3 UK approved bodies, which are BSI UK, SGS UK, and UL UK. So don't forget, if I can say, that CE marking will not be accepted at a certain point, so by the 30th of June 2023. So it means that you have to contact those approved bodies, the UK approved bodies, so you can establish now, if I can say, what is the plan for getting the UK CE mark for your device. So it is important. So go to the show notes also, and I have the list of the UK approved body where you can contact them. Okay, just an information about an event that is coming. So I will be participating to the virtual summit of Greenlight Guru in March 17th. So we will talk about how to create labels per EU MDR. So what I will try to do is to explain to you what is first a label and then how I can build my label, because I have a lot of people that say to me, what should I place on the label? What should I put on it? So I will show you that through the review of the GSPR requirements, because it's mentioned there, and also the review of the ISO standards with all the logos that we can use, if I can say, on our devices. So what we'll try to do is to build a label together within this session, where I will show you exactly how to place that, how to do that, and what are the information that really should be available on each of the labels. So don't hesitate to go on the show notes. Also there is the link where you can see the event and you can register to the event. Okay, what happened within Easy Medical Device? So on the podcast, we had 3 episodes last month. So we had the first episode, so episode 114, where we talked with Michel Lott about what is the QA/RA mindset. So it was really an interesting episode because we were sharing our experiences about working within the Quality and Regulatory Affairs department, things that went well, things that didn't went well. So just also to tell you that you are not alone. We also had bad experiences or good experiences, but it's not that you should really remember. You should remember that you are here to really help those manufacturers to place compliant devices on the market. Remember that maybe your kid, your family, a member of your family, your beloved will be on this maybe surgery room, and then they will have to get those devices. So would you be proud to say yes, those devices are really great, or do you not proud to say maybe no, they are bad, so I don't want those devices to be there? So it's important that you have this kind of mindset, and you can listen again to this episode just to see if you had the same experience and to see that there is a light through the tunnel. So yeah, go to the show notes to see the last episode 140. Then episode 115, we had how to find a QA/RA job with Karandeep Badwal. So we reviewed some of the tools that are available. So we have tools like some groups like the MDG Premium with Joe Hag. We had the tools that are on LinkedIn, so to use. We had a lot of tools that we are defining that you can use to first maybe create your network and then to try to find a job, or to create your own job, because we talked also about consulting, so how you create your consulting activities through this kind of tools. So it's really important. And then last episode 116, where we talked with John Spear from Greenlight Guru about medical device design methods for medical devices, like the waterfall method or the agile method. And it was really a great honor for me to have John Spear, because I was really a fan of his podcast. So don't hesitate also to go and listen the Greenlight Guru podcast. And don't forget also the Michel Lott podcast. So Lynn Raka today, she has also started her own podcast, so it can be also interesting for you to get some information from there. Okay, last information. So if you want to follow more of the information that I'm providing, I have also created this Telegram channel where I am sharing information, sharing details, sharing also the episodes that I'm releasing on the podcast, sharing also I'm starting to be like an artist to create some cartoons about medical devices. So don't hesitate to subscribe to the Telegram channel, so that you can have all the information directly on your phone and that you can see directly what is happening. And on this Telegram channel, there is also a chat section. So if you have any question, you can ask that on the chat and I can answer, or some other people that are on the group also can answer. So don't hesitate to do that and to be part of my Telegram community. Okay, so thank you very much. It was really a pleasure for me to have this episode with you. Don't hesitate to go on the YouTube channel and to subscribe, and also to provide some comments if you have any question about what we said today. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate also to go to the podcast page, so podcast.easymedicaldevice.com. If you have also any comment, you can also place your comment there. Okay, so I really thank you very much, and I wish you a nice day.